What's up, BC? How we doing here? Been a while, so be it. No need to rant and ramble. Life is very unique right now. So, push that shit aside. Let's hang out for a spell. This might go a little while. We'll see. You'll know when you click on the video how long this is gonna go. Because I feel like hanging out. It's been a little minute. I guess because of that, I haven't made any videos recently, much less a thread or a contest. So shout outs to Rachel the Music Ma'am and Metal Down Under. I know you, in addition to other people, have contests and threads going on, and I haven't done any videos, much less yours. So sorry about that. But it's so weird. I haven't made a video in a month or so. You forget how awkward or peculiar it is to stare at yourself on camera. That's weird. So maybe I will or will not look in the camera. Let's just get after it. I got dumb shit to talk about, so let's get dumb. The first thing of the night, let's get out the obligatories. The beer is Eagle Brewery Banana Bread Beer. I have absolutely no idea what this is. This is a blind buy, if you would. Tasting this for the very first time. I figure I'd give this a go. I got this at Tip Top Records, or the Tip Top Market or whatever in Charlotte when I went on my last run up to Charlotte. The vinyl douche Sam is probably going to be infuriated. I don't have a matching glass for such an obscure beer. Nice color on this. I believe it's out of the UK. We will see. I don't have any banana bread either. So, yeah, it has a faint taste of plantain. So be it. I guess the matching taste would be... Got some plantain chips. I'm certainly not going to munchy munch and smacky whack on camera. Nobody wants to hear that. Or see that, for that matter. But, yeah, I got chips. Grab a beer, if you wish. And, hey, speaking of Sam Vinyl Douche, I got some grilled, all natural, all organic, hormone-free, yada, 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 Korean barbecue pork jerky. So you might want to get a piece while it lasts. Alright, 2.5 minutes of nonsense. Not too bad for me. Fuck the rest. Let's get on with it. The spin in the background, I'll just grab this. So, this is mail time. I don't know who's out there flipping in record stores as of right now. But I had a little collection of mail stuff. I tried shooting a video for a week or so ago. And allergies, sneeze, coughing, clearing throat. A horrendous video. So I scrapped that, and more mail stuff came in. So this is Fields, you can hear it in the background, progressive psychedelic blues rock, a form your own opinion as it spins. This is their 1969? Yes, 1969 on Tapestry Records debut. This is the repress, limited to 500 copies on black wax. Unique center label you can't see because it's spinning right now. I bought this from a friend, Brett, Pearls Before Swines. I want to say original for this and VG if you could find it. Buy it online is probably north of 50, 60 bucks. So seeing how you can get this sealed brand new for 30 or under, I'd roll with that. It is a gatefold, but since I just got it, it's still in a shrink. Forgive me. No more comments on this. Outside of that, there's the back, there's the front. Gatefold is a mystery, because I'm a Shrink Lives Matter guy. This wasn't their only album, but they got in dispute a couple years later. I want to say by this time they'd were trying to cut a deal with CBS Records, and they had some bickering and squabble or whatever happened. And I think their recordings of that, what should have been their second album, wasn't recorded in 2015 something, and I have absolutely no idea what that sounds like. Alright, so part of this mail time is, I got some BCLT. And, I know some people hate BCLT out there, but, there's no unboxing here. Let's just get after it. Everyone's friend Steve Carlson, sent me some mail. And, I think I'll be dropping this video on a Sunday, so chances are you'll be watching this just before or just after watching Steve Carlson. I don't know, probably about a month or so back, he was showing, I guess it's a tomato situation, because in the violent community, I've heard it said as Fela and Fela. So, I believe Fela. Whatever. I'm about that, Afrobeat, Zamrock, although this, Fela is from, Nigeria. Speaking of which, I think Steve probably showed this before, where is it here? I guess tucked away, if you can even see what I'm doing. Behind this Taj Mahal. What else do I got here? It's probably a couple far back. I'm getting drifted. I do that. Sidetrack already. What else is here? Oh, Direwolves. I mentioned this band recently. Showed a couple of their albums. And this one was missing at the time. So, whatever. Part of this actually kind of sounds like experimental noise. But also, you know, the psychedelic prog contemporary stuff. And this was like in that, in the realm of Zamrock and all this. This is Witch, not the contemporary witch that has ties to Dinosaur Jr. and what have you. But this Witch of Zamrock, back in the day, hype sticker moved to the back because I'm a weirdo, my prerogative. This is 1972, Psych Zamrock, archival reissue of the Garage Psych Zamrock Masterpiece. That's a bold introduction right there. But I want to say Witch stood for either wanton or willin'. Wanton with the intent of causing havoc. I want to say that's what Witch stands for. I can't recall it's off the top of my head. But I get with this noise. But when I was texting in the comment section with old Steve, I mentioned that, man, I really dig Fela, but I don't have any. And so, surprise in the mail, he broke me off. I don't know where this stands in his catalog, because he released approximately 645 albums. And there is a note in here, but is laden with glitter. I don't want to be glitter bombed right now like when I did my unboxing. So, Steve, as with everyone, I appreciate you. And anytime anyone sends me anything, I keep my notes with it. And I will think about you when I spin this. I actually have not split this yet. This is my next spin tomorrow. I'll be playing this while I listen to Steve Carlson on his ever oh so positive, sometimes with or without a cat, Sunday morning, whatever thing we all do. Idiots show and tell. You know, Steve's a artist. I don't know if some of you guys might not know this. Steve sent me a masterful work. Wish it had a Steve Carlson, a John Hancock on it, because it's a beautiful thing right here. Open front end, so this is a rail job. Any exposed front end hot rod, you can see the frame on is a rail job. So dope business right there. I'm actually going to keep this forevers because I'm a nerd. And he actually sent me a book too, which is, man, I tell you what, between this and the next thing that came in the mail, my friends know me and they are appreciated. He sent me this book simply titled Hot Rod. I've thumbed through this more than a few times. Really enjoyed it. My chick enjoyed it too, because she's like, I don't get why you like some of this shit so much. And then she flipped through and she's like, oh, that's rad shit. It makes more sense now. I'm not going to flip through the whole thing, because Lord knows everyone's not going to care about all these hot rod type things. But I did bookmark one thing with an envelope here. The tie-ins to music here. Every time I think of this Marty Robbins, which I actually had to grab, I think of Old Goat right there. But here's some really rad shit. So, the iconic Beach Boys, I've shown this in the past. I have a nice repress, and then Snowy sent me an OG too. I was lucky enough to find a mono copy of this, the Ripcords right here, 3-window coupe. Most of these, though, are absolute just grails I'd never see in the wild. This Safari Surf City 64. A lot of these I'd really love to find, and I just haven't. And then flipping to the next page here, it segues into a good tidbit of Dick Dale. And speaking of segueing, I'm going to segue into the next mail I received. So, one of my first friends in the vinyl community, I believe he started making videos just about the same time I started making videos. Gary, of Gary's Vinyl Dungeon, super good dude. Really nice stereo setup. If you guys ever watch his videos, dude's constantly switching out turntables and stylus or styli and different components, etc. Record collection's ever grown. He's hit retirement, and I think he has enough nest egg that if he wants to play with stuff and buy vinyl records, he's doing it at his leisure. And he's buying records at a rapid pace. And I like a lot of what he shows. Pretty cool dude. So he must have heard me yapping recently about Dick Dale and landing an OG and then catching a repress. And he sent me the gap in my Dick Dale collection. So, as you can see, I haven't even put this back in. I usually don't store my records this way, but I listen to it. So, I haven't put it back fully nice and tight. There's some goodies right there. But, Gary knows me. This is right up my alley. This is one I plan on buying in the very near future anyways, as soon as I stumble into the wild. Love that the hype sticker ties into the Custom Center label. And like the Uni or Vertical Swirl or a handful of other records, this looks really cool. Spinning, really happy to have that. And I have seen this in the wild, but I haven't just picked it up yet. One thing I have never seen in the wild, I'm stoked to have. This is Post Dio Sabbath. This is the 80s. This is an early press. Oh, I'm trying to look for a year on this. 83. Anyways. This is the Tony Iommi guitars, guitar effects, flute, and Ian Gillan is on vocals. Look at that bro right there with a head full of hair. This is rad. I would be lying if I said I was super familiar with this album. So, stoked to have this in the collection. Gonna be a spin tomorrow, probably in the evening. A little bit later on, I got some plans. So, original sleeve, inner sleeve, that is, but it is currently residing within a MoFi sleeve, super clean condition. A little bit of ring wear doesn't piss me off in any way whatsoever, because like I say, yet to stumble across this one in the wild, otherwise I would have copped it. Absolutely nailed it there, Gary. Awesome. And Gary must be paying attention between that Dick Dale and him saying, I know I've spoken recently on how I'm trying to just fill out the Sabbath and Ozzy collection and Dio and all that, and that perfectly fills the gap. Also mentioned, but hadn't shown, the better part of a good bit of reggae, dance hall, etc. type music. I stumbled into, you don't find a whole bunch of that in the wild, but so I was mentioning it, and he sent me this, as you can see. I saved my notes. Gary, I look forward to seeing the model. That's him, my dude, a model, and he said he's actually completed it. I love it because it's kind of a shelf art, sealed, never been opened, but if he wants to crack it open and paint it and finish it, I think that's cool as hell. Something I used to have on CD to get right back to the music and what the nitty gritty of what people care about. This is Bob Marley. This is a standard. If you were to own 100 records, this would probably be one of them. If you only own 2 or 3 reggae albums and that's all you cared, just so you cover the genre, this on Tough Gong would be one of those. Is This Love? No Woman, No Cry. Could You Be Loved? 3 Little Birds, Buffalo Soldier, Stir It Up, Jammin', Satisfy My Soul, Redemption songs. So I Shot the Sheriff, One Love, People Get Ready. So, standard operating procedure. But it was a gap. This is stupid clean, Gary. Really appreciate that. And I guess since you were generous enough to send me some reggae, I figured I'd work in the reggae. I just haven't gotten around to showing yet. The one of which I showed last time Destin was here before all this COVID nonsense where we're all kind of segregated from each other. I showed this Third World. I don't know what the thread or topic was. I think I was bashing on silly hats in bad fashion. This goes in the 80s. Third World kind of became like reggae fusion, where it's kind of like post-disco, R&B, dance music. And I dig Third World regardless. But the heart of what most people really look for, and I was stoked to find when I was flipping at Pharmacy Records and I saw Jazz Collection. The early Third World, when it was still on, and I believe this one is as well, on Island Records. I want to say their first 4 albums were on Island Records, and this would either be their second or third album. Don't quote me on this. But this is more their true reggae. I dig this. I dig all sorts of stuff. It looks like this was either just put directly on the record or someone peeled it off the Shrink Once Upon a Time ago and slapped that on there. So pretty cool. Hippie looks like he's running with a joint in his hand and a travel stickers on his guitar case. So rad find. Don't stumble into reggae all the time. If anyone I know I know Uncle Paul has expressed that here. Look, I got half a beer poured into a glass, and I'm still going to be the goon that just grabs for the bottle first and foremost. That's delicious. But no, Uncle Paul expressed how sometimes it can be hard to, in the wild, organically stumble into reggae. So I'm kind of willing to somewhat blind buy if it looks intriguing. But for the if I really know what it is or have a tie to the artist or am familiar with it, I snag it when I see it if I have the money, because you don't see it all the time. One I'm familiar with, but I usually listen to streaming when it comes with a variety of other music. I've listened to, and that's the way I've listened to Tristan Palmer. If I don't even know how I got my sentence out, it's sleepy time. But this is Wounded. I want to say this is a Canadian press. I don't know if it's exclusively pressed in Canada. This is pressed in Ontario on that white label right there. So, Bun Gem Records. This is Reggae in the Shrink, which is an everyday find. Pretty prolific artist, like a lot of reggae musicians. One is I don't know if he started all the way into the 60s, but I know he was already making music in the early 70s and was prolific into the mid 90s. I want to say this is his last album of the 80s. This is like 88, 89. This is cool. If you guys don't know about Tristan Palmer, he kind of has a higher octave voice with, I don't want to say it's like raspy, but almost like a gravelly undertone, where at some points in some of the songs, especially when he was younger, his voice settled out. But in some tracks, he almost has like a grandma singing reggae quality to him. And I don't know, I think that's dope. I mean, I've known some old Jamaican ladies, so like, you know, so if you guys ever want to just hang out listening to an old Jamaican lady, you might want to try out Tristan Palmer. I guess this is what, I listened to this recently, and this is why it was out of order. This is the first thing that caught my eye. This is a Record Store Day title of 2015. This is 12 classic tracks, Trojan Records, Rude Boy Rumble. And this is pretty dope because this is the Slickers, Anton Ellis, the Upsetters, more of the Upsetters, Desmond Decker and the Aces, Henry Buckley, Max Romeo, the Chosen Few, more of the Upsetters. But this is all circa 60, it looks like 66 to 1970, with the very heart of it being all mid-60s. So, cool comp. Was happy to grab that. Really, really, really clean, nice condition. Someone probably had an impulse buy when they were feeling froggy on a record store day, and they're really not much of a reggae fan. So to find this some years later in really clean condition, open but marked down, I had to grab this. Really enjoyable comp listen. I actually debated putting this on in the background, but I ended up going with that Fields of 1969 that you're hearing right now. And I can't be doing too bad because I haven't even gone to the first side of this. I want to say the B side gets more proggy, and track 2 of side 2 is probably the best song of the album. Alright, this was inexpensive. I'm usually not a collector of 12-inch singles, but I love this jacket with this die cut with this giant Jamaica logo. It's equal on both sides. I thought that was cool, but I just wanted to discover what this is because this was inexpensive. And when I saw it, I was like, it's Betty Wright. Betty Wright is the clean-up woman. If anyone knows the one-hit wonder, Betty White was actually very prolific, dropped many albums over years. And this was in the 80s, and this is on Jamaica Records, Betty Wright. And one thing I thought was actually cool about this is 1984, is the year specifically. And it's one step up, 2 steps back, and there's a 757, and there's a 952 version. And I've seen a lot of 12-inch singles where it has like dub remix or disco remix, electronic remix, whatever it might be, for whatever the genre is. It's the same fucking track. I don't care what anyone says. It's the same track. I love that these are two unique tracks, undeniably the same song, but they're also undeniably different. And for whatever piddly couple of little bucks this was, I thought this was a pretty cool presentation cosmetically, something you don't see all the time. And I do have the LP with Clean Up Woman on it, so I thought it was kind of cool to see the origins of artists that everyone knows. And then if you're shooting the breeze and flipping the records with someone in the future, they're just like, oh, what's this Betty White? Or I should say Betty White, Betty Wright, yeah. If you didn't know, the Golden Girls are big on reggae. I guess I just jinxed myself, saying how I'm only talking for one side. And I almost got it out, but I have one record left. And that one record here, this is Sufferer's Choice. Super clean. Happy to find this. Look at this little tiniest discreet back label kind of hype stickers. It says Made in Jamaica by Dynamic Sounds. So, tiny little hype sticker there on the back, or whatever you would call that sticker. But this is Sugar, and it looks like Minot is maybe you'd pronounce it if you're just trying to like interpret things in your brain, but it's pronounced, I don't know, maybe throughout the world, but in that region, or his friends, and certainly by himself, is my knot. As in, like, this is my record, and I tie a knot. Or, hey, why not throw me a thumbs up? I haven't made a video in a while. We're still friends? You still watching? Hit that thumbs up. Fuck yeah. So this will be the last of... This is... I mean, if you can't tell, my man is gangster stance, pulling the chin hair, missing teeth. Everyone's rocking a Kangol, looking fresh. Tracksuits. One dude's actually gripping dick right there. But this is reggae. I mean, he's standing in front of... I mean, it's all reggae, but, you know, if you go to, like, if you're here in Greenville and things are normal, you go to Jamaican the Irie, or you go to a Jamaican restaurant, this is the music you'd think would be playing in the background when you think of reggae. If you were on vacation, if a cab picked you up from the airport at Jamaica and you thought reggae was going to be playing, this is the cliche reggae. If you just want to not go too far out there and experiment and whatever, you just want good reggae, I dig this reggae. And, you know, reggae as a whole is something that isn't really talked about too much in the vinyl community, but ironically enough, I think the vinyl guru not only showed reggae, but in particular, Sugar My Knot. So, yeah, that's it. Whatever. Had no real plan other than get back in the mix. It's been a while. Life's been nuts. Not gonna end this on a boo-hoo, woe is me, my life's so hard right now. I'm sure we all have things we're dealing with. Sorry I've missed the threads. Sorry I've missed the contest. I do enjoy Vinyl Tag just because it brings everyone together and you learn a lot about people. So I'll probably start watching all these quarantine tags and more than likely make a video for of my choosing as well. Okay, I'll make a quarantine tag. Anyways, babbles. Under 25 minutes is what it is. I love you guys. Take care. God bless. And all that jazz.